You don't have to go to emerging markets to find a reason why people want to buy this, right? If you look at the United States dollar, it's lost 25% of its purchasing power since 2020. Bitcoin is up 800% during that same time period.
I think 80 to 90% of the folks who are buying this thing are buying it because it's a risk on, the train is leaving, or I think the train's leaving, and I want to get in on the action. And that there's another 10 or maybe 20%, maybe, who have this sort of inflation hedge idea.
What's up, crypto crew, and welcome back. Or if this is your first time, I'm your Cpatain Crypto Might, actively escaping the matrix, scoping out the crypto ocean. So if you like your odds, get on the boat, stay up to date, thumbs up, and join the hunt. In just 2 days, the price of Bitcoin has dropped by a lot, as low as $64,000. BTC fell from $71,000, which is a drop of almost 10%. Prices like these haven't been seen in 10 days. That's why a lot of holders sold their hands. The government of the United States just sent 30,000 Bitcoin to Coinbase as a test exchange. The Bitcoin they took from Silk Road is moving around, so $30,000 worth of Bitcoin is now worth almost $2 billion US dollars. And the US government owns this, or at least took it away a long time ago. They have sent 69K to Coinbase so far in what looks like a test exchange. It is a big pump to think that they will now send the last few billions of dollars.
I hope nation states start paying greater attention to is the rise of cryptocurrency, because what looks like a very interesting and somewhat exotic effort to literally mine new coins in order to trade with them has the potential for undermining currencies, for undermining the role of the dollar as the reserve currency, for destabilizing nations, perhaps starting with small ones, but going much larger.
There's been a lot of uncertainty about Bitcoin over the last few days, but there are signals that we might be about to see another big crash. But what can we say about Bitcoin now? Are things going to get better? Are things going down? If you take a look at the crypto ocean as a whole, I think we can all agree that Bitcoin has making higher highs and higher lows for the past few days, even with the bit of a Bitcoin crash that we have seen. How do you know for sure? Well, the first answer to that no one is sure for sure. We can see the test exchange though, and most of all U.S. Marshal transfers have come before this kind of a test exchange. It is not if, but when. In other words, the U.S. Marshal's job is to sell stolen goods. They don't have a bigger job to do than secure, protect, or handle these assets in some other way. They're handling Bitcoin the same way they would any other stolen property. But the market is being affected more by the fear of selling off than by the possibility of a sell-off. Putting $2 billion US dollars into Bitcoin is the same as putting money into ETFs for a week. There's nothing to see here. The amount of money that could be affected by this is so large that we will divide $2 billion by the value of Bitcoin. It's not even 0.1% of the whole amount of Bitcoin.
You don't have to go to emerging markets to find a reason why people want to buy this, right? If you look at the United States dollar, it's lost 25% of its purchasing power since 2020. Bitcoin is up 800% during that same time period. And so if we go back to 2020, if you remember, Paul Tudor Jones, Stanley Druckenmiller, many people came out and said, look, I think it's an inflation hedge. Now, hedges are always this weird thing where people expect you buy it and then inflation explodes the next day. But instead what we've seen is that Bitcoin is a free market asset that trades forward looking. And so Bitcoin's rise, it's up. We have 7 straight months of Bitcoin in the green up till this past month. And so why is it going up?
And
some of it is the ETFs. Well, inflation is coming down year over year, but inflation is actually going up.
This kind of a dip is actually good for you, crypto crew, because it shakes out any weak hands. In this case, it makes the price range and technical support stronger. Don't forget that crypto is still being used twice as fast as the internet and should have around 1 billion users by the end of 2025. The major news outlets, however, won't show any kinds of these charts.
Prices have gone up.
and families and individuals are dealing with the realities of that bread costs more, that gas costs more.
Once there's any sign of fear, the FOMO kicks in. The major media outlets will say it was just a wild guess. It doesn't have any worth. But the reality is that a lot of people, especially those who tried to get their feet wet on this crypto ocean, do not know what they got themselves into.
Pick your asset for the greater fool theory. Is it NVIDIA? People, trains leaving the station, I got to get on it.
I don't disagree.
Pick your meme stock, pick your commodity, cocoa, pick whatever you want. I mean, there's no doubt that when there's liquidity everywhere, that it's going to chase asset. I don't think that because that's one of the reasons it goes higher doesn't undercut the fundamental case for that asset.
Still, banks are buying Bitcoin ETFs, and in March they moved $111 billion worth of them, which is 3 times as much as they did in all of March and January of 2024. Also, the orange color stands for Grayscale, which are sellers mostly. The rest are mostly buyers like BlackRock and Fidelity. BlackRock and Fidelity alone now own a total of 399,000 Bitcoin, and we're also seeing general demand for altcoins in this crypto ocean.
Cardano has grown year after year. TVL's up over 300%. Transaction volume is at an all-time high. dApps are at an all-time high. Development's at an all-time high in every aspect. Participation of the governed is at an all-time high. Transaction volume, 90% filled blocks all the time. All-time highs. Wallet installations, all-time high. Across the board, all the statistics look really good year after year. So much so, people are begging for scalability. They wouldn't be if it was a ghost chain. Yet I'm given this narrative that we're falling behind. We're dying as an ecosystem. If you truly do believe that, what are you really saying? Are you scared that ADA is not going to get a 10x or 20x or 30x?
Now, I personally hold Cardano, but I'm certainly not a Cardano fanatic. But the community says that there isn't another chain built the way Cardano is. And when you look at their philosophy, there aren't many altcoins with a tight community that cares so much about their project as the Cardano community.
What you're calling out is just a societal trend, right? We have become a society of gamblers. If you think about it, we have zero-day options. Now we're more than 50% of options trading. We have sports betting, right? We have meme coins trading like 1980s boiler room, penny stocks. This is all happening. And so, again, why is that occurring? The dollar has lost 25% of its purchasing power in 4 years. We have $1.1 trillion of credit card debt. We have 43 million Americans that have federal student debt. The average balance is $37,000. People have lost hope. They do not have hope. How are you supposed to live in a country where it is cheaper to rent than buy a home in 50 major metros? You don't have hope. And so what do?
You think this is a lottery ticket? This is a gamble?
I think that if you go and you buy a lottery ticket, it's 300 million to 1 odds. I think there's people right now saying, you know what, a meme coin has better odds than a lottery ticket.
So what can we say about Bitcoin? Is the price going up or going down? I think we can still agree that even though Bitcoin has, quote unquote, crashed a little bit, meaning the entire crypto ocean has faced some rough waters in the last few days, the highs have been higher as well as the lows. So from a long-term point of view in this crypto ocean, the market indicates that Bitcoin still is in an uptrend. And keep in mind, the Bitcoin halving event is around the corner, will take place 3 weeks from the moment of this recording. And historically, the Bitcoin halving has not only always influenced the price of BTC, it also pushed Bitcoin to new all-time high levels every single time. And you can watch a breakdown on the Bitcoin halving on your screen right now.
A major event is going to shake the crypto world. It's called the halving, and it happens once roughly every 4 years. This will lower the number of new Bitcoin entering the market by half.
And so, crypto crew, it is time for you to do your due diligence. It is time to put your time in the market, as in studying the projects, and to pay attention, because when the markets go up again, it is already too late unless you have done your due diligence.
I look at it like I busted my ass, blood, sweat, and tears for 33 years of my life. What's one more year?
I'm Cpatain Crypto Might, actively escaping the matrix, scoping out the crypto ocean. So if you like your odds, get on the boat, stay up to date, thumbs up, and join the hunt. And with that said, let's continue to escape the matrix. Let's continue to be on the lookout for the next move in this crypto ocean, grow in grace, and let's make some crypto waves. Say aye.